trying this again. This is my second attempt, of course. I still don't have my mic, but I wrote a little briefing. Unfortunately, the program doesn't allow me to do it as well as I would like. So, here, let's look at a company briefing. It says, Company Lanes, NTC. This is what I called the mission. U.S. Army versus USSR, which I should change to Krasnovia. So, okay. So, situation, enemy. Disposition, composition, and strength. Disposition. Elements of the Krasnovian 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment are moving to the Task Force AO. In the last 12 hours, we have come into contact with BRDM-equipped regimental recon units. Composition. Enemy forces in our sector are expected to be the remainder of the regimental recon and the forward security element of the regiment. Strength. The forward security element is expected to be near full strength of a T-80U platoon and a BMP-2 motorized rifle company. Mission. Team Apache attacks along access course no later than 0530 1991 Lima time in order to seize Objective 4 and set a hasty defense position for follow-on orders. Execution. Well, my intent is to seize Objective 4 as quickly as possible while maintaining the fighting capabilities of the team and to have the ability to conduct follow-on operations. Concept of operations. We will accomplish this by first setting an SBF, then assaulting the objective by the main effort, then preparing hasty BPs. So, pass to maneuver units. So let's look at our maneuver units while we do this. So we have our infantry platoon is red. Our first tank platoon is white, and our next tank platoon is blue. And then we have black, which is the XO and the CO. And here are my wonderfully drawn graphics. This is access cores. This is where red will be setting up SBF in SBF 1. So it might be a little closer to the objective than I would like, but I want to make sure to use their superior range of their toes to be able to engage anything coming from the north of Hill 876, which is right here. So we are going to move to an assault position, which I didn't mark. Which we can do that now. We will advance to why I'm practicing. We are going to move to our assault position, which will be about right, let's say here. And after that, red is going to move into their SBF where they'll set up in line and support the main effort, which the main effort is going to be white with red supporting them in a reserve role. And black, of course, will be in the middle doing command and control. Now we have phase lines. Our LD phase line is phase line Packers. And we have phase line Bears, phase line Vikings, and our limit of advance is phase line Lions. Right now it's 5:30. It's dawn. The visibility is 3,882 meters. The weather is good. The wind is calm. It's hot. I mean, it's June at NTC, and the ground conditions are good. Now, in this particular scenario, all we have is a company team consisting of one infantry platoon and two tank platoons and the headquarters section. So, we don't have artillery, we don't have engineers, we don't have anything else but 14 vehicles, 10 tanks for Bradleys. Now, we have SOPs that we can give to each platoon. It's not as deep as I would like, but I will show you here. I've already set them up for the majority, for everyone. But look, we have Pathfind. I'm going with quick because speed is of the essence in order for us to seize this objective. So soft target range, we're going to go with effective because I don't want to waste ammunition shooting 5,000 meters or something at a BRDM. Hard target range, effective, those are just the same. Rate of fire, fast. I think we're going to try to shoot as much as possible to kill as quickly as we can. Use main armament, yes, of course. Seek cover, yes, because we don't want to just sit where we are. We want to find a hasty battle position if we are going to fight. Load on contact, it's tank, so obviously no. Smoke generator off. Now, let's look at our infantry platoon. It's going to be a little bit different. The Pathfind. We're going to want them to move a little bit, quick, obviously. They're going to be slower than the tanks. I haven't quite perfected keeping Bradleys up with M1s yet. So, the same. With soft target, hard target, rated fire, fast, use main armament, yes. Seek cover, yes. But unload on contact, I don't want to do that in the desert. I mean, we're in the desert. I don't want to get contact with the BRDM and all 4 Bradleys drop their ramps and the 6 grunts run out of each other. But that just doesn't make sense. So we're going to say no. We might change that later when we set up in the SBF if we're getting in a firefight and we want to use something like a dragon, or if there's infantry and we want to fight their infantry. But for right now, they are going to stay loaded on the Bradleys and smoke generator off. All right. Typically, I don't pause when I play. We might pause to show a few parts of the game here. So I'm going to hit start. As you can see, maybe, sometimes we get intelligence from S2. For instance, here we don't know what this is. Let me pause here. We have a unit here, and because it's here between these 2 areas, we know it's regimental recon, right? Just because so maybe this is radio traffic or something that S2 has let us know. So what we can do is we can go to mark and right click over to question mark. We're going to say recon. I know that there's possible recon elements there. I'm going to go back to resume. In the same here, so we got probably another BRDM. I'm not going to mark it again because this general area, we know this general area has probably some sort of regimental recon units. So we see here our company. Well, enemy ground units are spotted. So, and this is what I'm talking about. Pausing it again. I don't like this. There is not an ability for command and control of fire. So everybody saw it, saw the target, and they all fired. It was like a company fire command. And they all used Sabo, which they had battle carried, and a whole bunch of Sabo hit 1 BRDM. Not very efficient. Maybe there's something I'm doing wrong that I need to try out and figure out the parameters a little bit better. But so here we go. Back to the game. So I guess the way I made the pathfinding, we're a little bit outside of Discord. And now, as you see, let me pause this for a second. All of these blue lines, these are sight on the enemy. Now, as you see, it says wheeled vehicle. So we have this generic BTR. Field vehicle, we know it's the enemy. Now, for instance, if you come back and you look at tanks, here you have an M1A1, because we know what this vehicle is. Once you positively identify what you're shooting at, or what you see, you are going to be able to see the icon of the vehicle. So again, we have this tank. It looks like 2 tank from White Platoon has fired. Now, as we resume, the rest of the company has made sure that this BRDM is dead. Now, trying to see why they got out of the Axis. It's probably because they are seeking cover as they go. And by the way, this situation is a little bit ludicrous because obviously we're going to have units to our right and to our left, or maybe just to our right. Here, more than likely, a mech heavy team is going to come here, and the infantry will dismount and assault Hill 876 if need be. Here we go. I'm moving. I don't like the pathfinding so well in this here, because look, we've got the 6.6 tank here, and the 6.6 in the rear, the XO in the front, out to lead the charge. It's usually not as bad. Probably something to do with the terrain. We're probably around the assault position. We're going to try to group back together as best we can. And I play in real time, so sometimes some of the games last 3, 4, even more. However, this is not going to be like that because this is a small scenario. Oh, and another thing I want to show. Let's look at this particular tank. This is a white one. You can click on this information. And look, so he has, I'm still trying to figure out why we have 2 Sabo, armor piercing fin stabilized discarding Sabos. But we have a ready and stowed. So we have the ready rec and the semi-ready. And probably the hull also. So right now they have 5 in the ready, 5. So they've got 15 total rounds in their ready rack. So they fired 1 round. And then in their semi-ready and the hull, they have 9. When you do a short halt and there's enough time, they will transfer rounds, but it takes time, just like it really does in the tank. Check on progress. Nope. Seems like white is getting pretty close to their position. And we can take this mark and we can go ahead and delete this recon because we know the recon unit is dead. Unfortunately, the only way to mark things is like that. So that's why I have the explanation. Oh, I can't say that word right now. Points here in front of the axis, the phase lines, and the SPF. And as you can see here, these arrows are which way the turrets are pointing. I think, okay, so good. White, they are set. Blue is set. So I'm going to go ahead and change these guys' formation to line, because they are going to prepare in their assault position. And probably the same thing here with blue. I'm going to put them go ahead and put them in line. Oh, and look at this. We have contact on northern top of A76, and we've got it. It's hit. We don't know. We just know it was a tracked vehicle. So we have this generic tracked vehicle marking. We have another tracked vehicle. So it seems like we're not even setting in our SBF, and we're coming into contact with the FSC. So another tracked vehicle. Oh, and look at this. We've got enemy forces coming from the south side of 876. In a real situation, this would be in another company's sector. Now we have destroyed 3 enemy tracked vehicles and 2 BRDMs. So I don't know. I might need to do a frago here. That was a secondary explosion of ammunition, by the way. An explosion. This is enemy fire that we don't know where it's coming from. So it's right here, another tracked vehicle. So what I'm going to do is if this blue is the command zone, I am going to move blue here. Ooh, it's a little far. I'm going to move them there, and I'm going to give them lead all waypoints. I'm going to contact here. When they come into contact, I'm going to set them up into a hasty defense. Oh, and look, these must be BMPs because we have enemy dismounts here on the north side of 876. So I'm still going to move Brads there, but I'm going to change their SOP. I'm going to make them move shortest. I mean, you're trying to get to they're the shortest they can because they're doing short halts. Those are tow missiles, as you can see, the slow moving, and they're in contact. And so these are definitely Bradleys, or excuse me, BMPs, and they're dropping their dismounts. Okay, like we're firing heat at dismounts. So now I'm going to move white a little further. Oh, the battle has concluded. So let's show the after action report. So we destroyed 8 of their vehicles. They lost 17 squads. So a lot of their guys must have gotten killed in the Bradleys before they dismounted. And look at this. We had 24, I guess, guys, not squads. 24 there, nobody lost. 14 vehicles, nobody lost. So now let's view a replay. However, I have this set up, we can only see our side. We don't see where the enemy is. You can, of course, make it so you can see where the enemy is to get a better AAR, but I forgot to do that. And that's it. This was 8 minutes and 46 seconds of a battle. It was an easy company lanes, decisive victory. We didn't even occupy the objective. Let's see if we can. And yeah, after the battle, of course, we can see what we destroyed. That's a BRDM, just like we thought. That's a BRDM. I'm going to think around the south, these are probably the tanks. And it still doesn't tell us. I guess when we drove by, we got closer, we identified those as BRDMs. These troops were running away. So it's a good victory. Thank you. I hope this was a little bit better. Still waiting for the mic. And everything should come together. All right.